From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, July 28th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. NASCAR announces data breach following March cyberattack. The National Association for Stock Car Racing, better known to the world as NASCAR, has now warned customers of a data breach caused by a cyberattack in late March. The company filed with regulators in Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts and has said that Social Security numbers were accessed but has not stated how many people were affected. Back in April, the Medusa ransomware gang added the company to its leak site and demanded a $4 million ransom. Medusa has been identified by the FBI and other U.S. agencies as among the top 10 most prolific ransomware strains this year. Plankey appears to be on track to lead CISA. Sean Plankey, who is the president's nominee to run CISA, received, quote, a largely warm reception from lawmakers on the Senate committee charged with advancing his nomination, end quote. Plankey has pledged to ask DHS Secretary Kristi Noem for more funding if he determines a larger budget is needed for the agency. Plankey has most recently acted as Noem's senior advisor overseeing the Coast Guard and has also served on the National Security Council and with the Department of Energy. He is a supporter of the reauthorization of the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act of 2015, which is, quote, a U.S. federal law designed to improve cybersecurity by encouraging the sharing of cyber threat information between the private sector and the government and among private entities, end quote. Plankey also stated that he would, quote, prioritize evicting China from the U.S. supply chain, end quote. Microsoft investigates another outage affecting 365 Admin Center. Microsoft is keeping tabs on an outage that blocked Microsoft 365 administrators with business or enterprise subscriptions from accessing the Admin Center. This is being described as a service degradation issue and is tracking the problem on its official service health status page because Microsoft 365 administrators may be unable to access the Admin Center to get service health information. This is the second time in a week that the company has had to mitigate an issue with the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Insurer Allianz Life confirms data breach. The U.S.-based provider of annuities and life insurance, Allianz Life, that is Allianz, is a subsidiary of Allianz SE, a global financial services group headquartered in Germany. It is now confirmed that the personal information for the majority of its 1.4 million U.S. customers was exposed in a data breach that occurred on July 16th. The breach is being attributed to a malicious threat actor who, quote, gained access to a third-party cloud-based CRM system used by Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America. A spokesperson stated that, quote, the threat actor was able to obtain PII related to the majority of Allianz Life customers, financial professionals, and select Allianz Life employees using a social engineering technique. Bleeping Computer believes that this attack is the work of the Shiny Hunters extortion group. Today's sponsor is DropZone AI, the leader in AI-powered SOC automation. Major companies like Zapier and UiPath are using DropZone to give their security teams superpowers. Imagine your analysts focusing on the real threats while AI handles every routine investigation in minutes, not hours. If you're heading to Black Hat, stop by their booth in Startup City. But you don't have to wait. Check out their self-guided demo at dropzone.ai and see why Fortune 500s are making the switch. That is DROPZONE.ai. Blacksuit website goes dark. Blacksuit, a ransomware gang that is believed to be a rebrand of Royal Ransomware, itself a product of the Conti gang, now has some new bling on its website. The logos of 17 law enforcement agencies plus cybersecurity firm Bitdefender, who worked with U.S. Homeland Security to disable the site in a campaign branded Operation Checkmate. This action has, for the moment, halted or at least frustrated the dealings of the group, which is known for exploiting phishing, remote desktop protocol, vulnerabilities in public-facing applications, using access data from access brokers, and harvesting VPN credentials from Stealer logs. Unpatched flaw in LG surveillance cameras allows admin access. CISA is warning of an unpatched authentication bypass vulnerability in a specific model of security camera, the type often mounted on ceilings in commercial buildings. The model number and CVE number of the vulnerability are listed in this episode's show notes. Approximately 1,300 cameras are active and vulnerable to full unauthenticated remote code execution, allowing remote takeover and network pivoting. As CISA points out, this is a critical infrastructure threat, which is not just simply a risk to isolated devices, but potentially endangers facilities that are vital to public safety and national operations. The manufacturer, LG Innotek, is aware of the vulnerability but will not patch it because this particular camera model is an end-of-life product. Microsoft cannot guarantee data sovereignty. Speaking under oath in the French Senate, executives from Microsoft France said their company cannot guarantee data sovereignty to customers in France and by extension to the wider European Union due to the Cloud Act, a U.S. law that, quote, gives the U.S. government authority to obtain digital data held by U.S.-based tech corporations, irrespective of whether that data is stored on servers at home or on foreign soil. It is said to compel these companies via warrant or subpoena to accept the request, end quote. The issue of access to data and the enforceability of provisions of the Cloud Act will require a great deal of litigation, especially considering the fact that AWS, who supported the bill along with Microsoft and Google, has stated, quote, that the Cloud Act does not only apply to U.S. headquartered companies, it is applicable to all electronic communication service or remote computing service providers that do business stateside. End quote. Arizona woman who helped place North Korean workers is sentenced. Following up on a story we brought you in late May, Christina Marie Chapman, a 50-year-old woman from Arizona, has now been sentenced to 102 months in prison after pleading guilty for her involvement in a scheme that enabled North Korean IT workers to infiltrate 309 U.S. companies, end quote. She was charged, along with her co-conspirator, a Ukrainian citizen, Alexander Didenko. Didenko also ran an online platform known as Upwork Cell, which was seized by the Department of Justice, that assisted North Koreans in using false identities while hunting for remote IT work positions. Remember to register for this week's Super Cyber Friday discussion all about hacking the talent myth. We'll be talking about whether we're seeing a talent shortage, a disconnect between security teams and HR, and where the industry is today when it comes to hiring. This all starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you have some thoughts on the news from today or about this show in general, please be sure to reach out to us at feedback@cisoseries.com. We would love to hear from you. I'm Steve Prentice, reporting for the CISO Series.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to CISOseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.